Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, hope you're doing well. Today I'm in a 2012 Vauxhall Astra GTC VXR. It's quite a mouthful actually when you try and say that. This is a 2-litre turbo, 280 horsepower front wheel drive hot hatch, and I absolutely love it. Today's video is discussing whether you should buy one in 2022, 10 years after launch. Is this a car to buy? Well, with the values seeming to be on the rise, and this being a sort of no longer offered sort of package, big horsepower front wheel drive, I think it's something very well worth considering. Now, I've owned plenty of Astra H VXRs and I've always been really underwhelmed. Power wise, just not that incredible, and it felt like a very sort of basic and unpolished package. Well, the Astra J GTC VXR has certainly addressed those issues. This is a much better handling, much more refined, and much more modern feeling car. Despite being 10 years old, the GTC's got some really nice features inside that help it to really stay feeling modern. Starting off with these incredible bucket style sports seats. Not only do they look incredible, but they're very comfortable and they're supportive too. I would have absolutely no problems at all doing long journeys in these seats. They're not heated, which is slightly disappointing. I don't know if that's an option on these or not. Some would prefer to have bare bones style sports seats, but it would be a nice added touch. I do like the creature comforts. You have got cruise control, air conditioning. It's not climate control, but nonetheless it's a very nice setup. It feels very Astra in here, but that's not a bad thing. It's still a modern looking interior if you ask me. Things like the mood lighting, you get nice red light that glows around things like door shuts and the gear knob. You've got Bluetooth, you've got DAB, you've even got auto lights and auto wipers, which make it feel like just kind of modern and all-round finished car. The gearbox is notchy and positive and feels really good to use. We'll come back to gearboxes. Steering in this feels really connected and actually, you know, it's got great feel through it. Unlike all the other Astras of this generation which had electric power steering, for the VXR they have used hydraulic to give you more feel and connection to the road. The VXR's got a host of buttons for control modes. We've got Eco mode, Sport mode and VXR mode. VXR being the most performance oriented of the lot, gives you stiffer suspension, increased throttle response and heavier steering. Outside of VXR mode, the car feels comfortable, unintimidating, quiet, reserved and easy to drive really. It's something you would quite happily put your timid other half in. If they weren't particularly up for a 280 horsepower front wheel drive monster, well, tell them to stay out of VXR mode and they'll probably be okay. The car's got an absolutely huge boot. The rear seats are actually really generous and quite easily get another 2 grown adults in there with plenty of leg room and headroom. So it's still quite a practical car and rivals a Golf, but the Golf doesn't have VXR mode. Thanks to the limited slip diff, the car actually handles really well and corners very well. The torque steer is not quite so much of an issue as you would expect for 280 horsepower. The car is in fact really quite confidence inspiring. In fact, the only real criticism I have performance wise is the car feels quite laggy. And it takes a little while, perhaps longer than you used to build up boost. In standard form, it sounds really good. You're getting really nice turbo noises and a really nice exhaust note as well. But it's not obnoxious. But if you wanted that bit of extra growl, I think this would have incredible induction noise with an induction kit and would sound great with a sports exhaust as well. The other thing I highly rate about the GTC, which is quite boring really, but important to me, is there are absolutely tons of cup holders. You can have 3 drinks here at least, or 1 can and a bottle. You've got pockets in the doors as well for bottles. There's a really nice cubby hole right in front of the gear knob, which is perfect for putting your phone in. Things like that really matter to me when you, especially if you're going to be doing long journeys in these cars. Just being able to be comfortable and get things out of your pockets matters a lot to me. Pick yourself a nice example and look after it, and I don't think you're going to go too wrong with one of these cars. And I think it's probably only going to go up in value from here. In fact, they're already going up in value. So how do you pick a nice one? Well, obviously service history is important, bodywork is important, check that it hasn't been written off, always do a kind of HBI check. You know, there's plenty of them out there. Even get in touch with me, I can always HBI a car for you. I almost wrapped this up without doing draggy times. We've got to find out. This, from factory, they say 5.5, 0 to 60. So we'll find a quiet bit of road and we'll find out for ourselves if I can actually get the power down. Okay, 0 to 60 run. Let's go. So 6.57 seconds verified there. I had an awful start, but it feels like this has got a bit of a soft limiter, so it's kind of hard to build revs ready to go off the lights. I wonder if that's something to do with the fact of the 280 brake horsepower front wheel drive setup. So it will gradually rev up to 3,500, but there's almost like an instant limiter at 2,500. Right, attempt number 2. Let's try and get a bit of a better start with this one. There we go. Oh, that was awful start. Awful start. This is that turbo spooling. I'm not convinced that was any faster at all, actually. I feel like I need to do a bit of work on my my launches in this car. So 6.42 seconds verified that time. Also quite a bad start, obviously. Do I feel like I am bad enough at launching this car that someone could actually knock a second off that time? Yes, 100%. I had awful starts there. It's always a bit difficult learning different clutches and cars, so out come the excuses, obviously. Anyway guys, that was the Astra GTC VXR video. Managed to get it out a bit better that time. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please do like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you in the next video.